And Farshid is going to lead us in the prayers. And I'm wondering who is going to lead us in the Australian arti?
Angela.
Angela, that's the woman. Angela will lead us in the Australian arti. And then Cathy has a reading. And Brad and Cathy, half of the Cairo Cats, will be playing this evening. And then our guest speaker is Shirin. And Mayor Noosh will be interpreting.
And Kevin is going to play a song too. And Kevin is going to play a
And
song.
how could I forget Kevin? And Kevin will be playing. So if you'll all rise and Farshid come forward, and if everybody could stand.
Beloved Avatar Mer Baba Ki Jai. Beloved Avatar Mer Baba Ki Jai.
O Vardigar, the preserver and protector of all. You are without beginning and without end, non-dual, beyond comparison, and none can measure you. You are without color, without expression, without form, and without attributes. You are unlimited and unfathomable, beyond imagination and conception, eternal and imperishable. You are indivisible, and none can see you but with eyes divine. You always were, you always are, and you always will be. You are everywhere. You are in everything. And you are also beyond everywhere and beyond everything. You are in the firmament and in the depths. You are manifest and unmanifest, on all planes and beyond all planes. You are in the three worlds and also beyond the three worlds. You are imperceptible and independent. You are the Creator, the Lord of Lords, the knower of all minds and hearts. You are omnipotent and omnipresent. You are knowledge infinite, power infinite, and bliss infinite. You are the ocean of knowledge, all-knowing, infinitely knowing, the knower of the past, the present, and the future, and you are knowledge itself. You are all-merciful and eternally benevolent. You are the soul of souls, the one with infinite attributes. You are the Trinity of truth, knowledge, and bliss. You are the source of truth, the ocean of love. You are the ancient one, the highest of the high. You are Prabhu and Parameshwar. You are the beyond God and the beyond beyond God also. You are Parabrahma, Allah, Ilahi, Yazdan, Ahura Mazda, and God the Beloved. You are named Izad, the only one worthy of worship. We repent, O God most merciful, for all our sins, for every thought that was false or unjust or unclean, for every word spoken that ought not to have been spoken, for every deed done that ought not to have been done. We repent for every deed and word and thought inspired by selfishness, and for every deed and word and thought inspired by hatred. We repent most especially for every lustful thought and every lustful action, for every lie, for all hypocrisy, for every promise given but not fulfilled, and for all slander and backbiting. Most especially also, we repent for every action that brought ruin to others, for every word and deed that has given others pain, and for every wish that pain should befall others. In your unbounded mercy, we ask you to forgive us, O God, for all these sins committed by us, and to forgive us for our constant failures to think and speak and act according to your will and wish. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more, and more and more, and still yet more, till we become worthy of union with you. And help us all to hold fast to Baba Dhamma till the very end. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart Meher I give to you to keep. Creator yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Who through compassion the three worlds maintains. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling spokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you who are infinitely kind break the wheel's hub which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the days, till you, the ever-living perfect one, illumine my darkness with your shining sun. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Baba Kadai.
This one's for short people. All right. This is a short reading from Ramju's Diaries, 1922 to 1929, page number 105. Dated October 13th, 1922, and titled, Why Worry? If there be a cause, great or small, present, then a result must follow accordingly with a certainty. Now the griefs and sorrows of this world are imaginary and self-created, for there is no cause for them that would justify the result. The result, in order to be substantial and believable, must have some cause for it. If the cause be absent, then it naturally follows that the effect or result is unsubstantial or imaginary. Then why worry yourself about the sorrows, griefs, or pleasures of this world, which have no cause behind them other than mere imagination? Be a passive spectator of what is passing around you, and keep your mind free and happy. Hafiz enjoins the same when he says, "Oh, Hafiz, both the sorrows and happiness of the world are to pass away. Hence, it is better that I should remain happy throughout."
Once in a while there comes the great love man who comes for every man. His smile is so sweet that trees bow down to see, and the stars twin twinkle to catch his eye. And even the flowers, even the flowers nod their head in sweet reply. Once he comes, he comes. Once he goes, he goes. But while he's here, he'll fill the hearts of everyone. Many times he comes, many times he goes. But while he's here, he'll fill the hearts of everyone. Once in a while there comes the great God-man, who comes for every man. His eyes are so pure, they're just like pools of love, and his hands are like a satin pillow, and his feet are so tender, even the stones surrender. Even the stones surrender to his love. Once he comes, he comes. Once he goes, he goes. But while he's here, he'll fill the hearts of everyone. Many times he comes, many times he goes. But while he's here, he'll fill the hearts of everyone.
I think we all know Kevin, so I'm not going to announce that this is Kevin.
Kevin who?
Hey Baba.
Hey, Baba.
Hey Baba. I feel obliged to tell the story before the song because I see some faces who may not have heard this story before. This is Erich's prayer, and the story goes, it was told to me by Dan Ladinsky, that Gary Kleiner and Jack Small were videotaping Erich in Mandell Hall. It was an interview. Some of you may have seen it. And of course, Gary was asking questions. At one point, as the story goes, he asked Erich, so I see that you go into Mandell Hall every day, and you close the doors, and you're in there for some time, 15 minutes or more. May I ask what you do in there? And Erich replied, well, first of all, I bring Baba up to speed on everything that's happening. Then I ask him, what my assignments are, and then I say my prayer to him. At which point, apparently, Gary asked Erich, would you recite the prayer that you say to Baba every day? And Erich said, yes, I will. However, I don't want it in the video. You've got to edit it out of the video. So some number of months thereafter, and this is how Gary Ladinsky knows the story. He was sitting in the office with Gary and Erich, and then walks Jack Small with a video in his hand, say, it's done, the video's done, and as you requested, the part of the video where you recite your prayer has been edited out. But being the lawyer that I am, I did make a written copy. At which point, and asked, could I have it? And Erich apparently said yes. Immediately thereafter, Gary and Dan chimed in and said, well, can we have copies? And at that point, according to Dan, he was there, Erich said, yes. The song, the prayer was mine, now I give it to the world. Let's just make sure. Didn't go out of tune between here and there. We're in business. Maybe I should move this a little bit. I don't know about these. I remain beholden to you for everything everything you have done for me. In spite of what I am and how I am, you have always overlooked my weaknesses and forgiven my trespasses. You have always showered your love upon me and your grace upon me. I have no words to express my gratitude, but to utter. Oh, Baba, oh, Baba, oh, Baba, 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 oh, Baba, 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 Baba. I beseech you, I implore you, I beg of you, please, never let me down, never let me down, my beloved. Guard me, guide me, and help me in everything I do. Hold my hand until the very end, and fill me with your love from top to bottom, from side to side, inside and outside. And let me know, oh Baba, let me know there is only my beloved. And let me know, oh Baba, let me know there is only God. I remain beholden to you, oh Baba. I remain beholden to you, oh Baba. I remain beholden to you, oh Baba. I remain beholden to you. That's it.
And also, while Shireen and Manu is talking, please, absolute silence. If you need to talk, go to the bathroom.
Good, I'm glad you said that. So we may postpone, but maybe not. Decision will be, Dennis needs a decision. Oh, okay, Cathy wants to
Jai Baba. That's good, perfect. That's good, right? Yes.
Avatar Mehr Baba ki jai. Avatar Mehr Baba ki jai. دوستداران عزیز مهر بابا، این سرگذشت حقیقی مهربان شهریار ایرانی است.
Dear lovers of Meher Baba, this is the story or part of the story of Merwan Shahriyar Irani.
که به وسیله اسفندیار وصالی و همه خانواده عاشقان مهر بابا در ایران گفته شده.
That it has been told by Esfandiar Vesali and other old-timers, Meher Baba lovers back in Iran.
را که به وسیله آنها شنیدم، بعد از تماس با بوسه حضرت بابا جان مهربان مست شد.
So the story goes that when Baba was kissed by Baba John, he became detached of the world.
خب میخوام توضیح بدم. در زمان سلطنت قاجار بود. البته این داستان نیست، حقیقته.
This is a true story and it's actually happened, and it was at the time of Qajar dynasty back in Iran.
Okay. ایرانی هایی که به هند رفته بودن بیشتر همدیگر را می شناختند و با هم فامیل بودند.
The Iranian who have gone or who have immigrated to India, they knew each other, and some of them or most of them they were actually relatives of each other.
شیرین مای مادر مهربان با خورشید مای همسر استاد خدا رحم حیات بخش فامیل بود.
The story she's going to share is about Ustad Khoda Rahme Hayat Bakhsh, and she's saying that that Khurshid Mai, who was the wife of Ustad Khoda Rahme Hayat Bakhsh, was a relative of Shirin Mai, Meher Baba's mother.
پدر مهر بابا شهریار ایرانی هم استاد خدا رحم را خوب می شناخت.
Father of Meher Baba, Shahriyar Mandegar Irani, also knew of Ustad Khoda Rahme Hayat Bakhsh very much.
چون هر دو در راه طریقت بودند.
Because both of those men were in the spiritual path.
وقتی که هیچ دکتر و دوایی نتوانست مهربان رو شفا بده، شهریار به شیرین مای میگه
when there wasn't any medicine, any cure for Merwan, Shahriyar tells his wife Shirin Mai that
او را به بمبای پیش استاد خدا رحم ببر.
take Merwan to Bombay to Ustad Khodaram, who was a saintly person at that time, and it was well known to the Zoroastrian Iranian community at that time.
شیرین مای مهربان رو آنجا برد.
Shirin might take Merwan there to Bombay to visit Ustad Khodaram.
وقتی استاد خدارم مهربان را دید به او تعظیم کرد و گفت شیرین تو به تو تبریک میگویم. مهربان مقامی بالایی دارد و من نمیتوانم کمکش کنم.
When Shirin Mai took Merwan to see Ustad Khodaram bowed down or bent to Merwan and told Shirin that congratulations, your son has a spiritual status is very high and definitely much higher than me that I cannot help him.
مهربان باید با سای بابا تماس بگیرد.
Merwan should go to Sai Baba and be connected with him.
و بعد هم مریدان دیگرش، مرشدای دیگرش مثل تاج الدین و بابا نایرن بابا و باسی مهاراج. بعد از این دیدار مهر بابا به طرف اونها کشیده شد.
And so Ustad Khodaram gave a hint that you need to take him to Sai Baba and the other perfect master of the time, which was Upasni Maharaj, Tajuddin Baba, and Narayan Maharaj. Right, thank you. Therefore, they got the hint to go ahead and take Meher Baba to Sai Baba. So as you can see here, is they needed the Zoroastrian link in order to convince Shirin Mai to go ahead and send it to a Muslim Murshid or master.
اوکی. بعد از اینکه مهر بابا به طرف آنها کشیده شد و او با همه تماس گرفت، بعد از اون
After beloved Merwan connected to all of those divine masters of the time, the perfect masters,
بعد از 7 سال به قدرت الهی خیش پی برد.
after 7 years he got conscious or he got God conscious.
بعد از آن مهر بابا در بمبای منزل میم با عاشقانش بود.
After that, as you know, Baba was in Bombay at Manzil Mim for some times.
به احمد نگر و مهرآباد و مهرآزاد و بعد از آن هم
As you know, Baba went to Ahmadnagar and Mehrabad, and after that started the Premashram and the school of
و بعد
Baba
از آن هم دستور دادم که از همه ممالک دیگر بچه ها را برای تحصیل مجانی دعوت کردند.
And then Baba had sent a flyer to invite children, young kids, young boys to come to the school, which was free tuition, and they will provide boards and rooms and
اون سال
food.
1926 بود.
That was around 1926.
و آقای بهیجول
And,
آقای بیدول
and Beidul
فرمان داد که از ایران یزد با اجازه مادر و پدر بچه ها 12 پسر بیاورد.
and as Baba
دستور
and Baba told Beidul to bring some children, and it happened to be 14 of them. 14 boys that Beidul brought from Iran, from Yazd area. There were both Zoroastrians and also a few Muslims that went to Mehrabad.
آقای بیدول به ایران رفت و در یزد به همه اطلاع داد که در هند مهربابا مدرسه تحصیل باز کرده و تمام خرج تحصیل هم مجانیه.
Beidul, when he went to Yazd, of course, he let everybody know that Meher Baba had opened up a school, and there is no tuition there, and the kids can come, and so the parents will feel safe to send their boys.
بیشتر پدر مادرها خوشحال شدند.
Most of the parents, they were very happy, so their kids can.
افرادی که خوششانس بودند در این مدرسه شرکت کنند 12 نفر بودند.
14 child. The lucky ones who got to participate in this school were 14 of them.
من متاسفانه اسم همه رو نمیدونم، اما آقایان زنده‌یاد پاکروان، اسفندیار وصالی، مهداد شاپوری، خسرو نمیرانیان و خدایار نمیرانیان جزو آنها بودند.
She doesn't know the list of all the boys, but she remembers from the list that it was Sfandiyar Vesali, Khodayar, و Khosro Namiranian, Shahpur Mehdadi, and who?
چی؟
کجاست؟
مهداد شاپور، خسرو نمیرانیان، خدایار نمیرانیان
و
جزو اونها
آقا
بودند.
علی،
You want the
آقا
names?
علی. Yes, give the names.
Esfandiyar Surush Vesali from Jafarabad. Bahram Rostam Beidulian from Jafarabad. That was Agha Beidul's son. Mullah Hassan from Majumer. Darwish from Majumer. Jamshid Jamshidi Kalantari from Mazra Kalantar. Khosro Tus or Namiranian and Khodayar Tus from Nusrat Abad. Shapur Merdadi from Khorramshahr. Rostam, who was 8 years old also from Khorramshahr. Urmeziyar Yektai and Kekhosro Yektai, they were also from Khorramshahr. Khodayar Negahdar from Nusratabad also. Khodabakhsh from Hossein-Abad, but he was a Baha'i actually. And Allayar also from Hassanabad, and he was a Baha'i. And that was it. That was the 14 of them.
Okay, so we got a mainly Zoroastrian, couple of Muslims, and couple of Baha'is who went to Baba's school.
این فرزندان خوششانس در مدرسه عشق اوتار مهربابا تحصیل عشق کردند و به عشق حقیقی رسیدند. همین
These lucky children, they got educated at the school of love, and they earned it.
همه آنها مدت 1 سال و 8 ماه در مهرآباد، در توکا، در اشرام مهربابا زندگی کردند.
All of them were living in Mehrabad and also in Toka, in ashram for 1 year and 11 months, was that? Or, yeah. Yes,
I
Farshid.
wanna, kind of
بعد از آن
get
که
everyone's
My
attention
mother,
to
بعد از
the,
آن که
مادر فرشید داره صحبت میکنن.
I just want to get everybody's
من دارم
attention to the
صحبت میکنم.
discourses,
Yeah.
to the discourses that Baba gave to these boys. It just came out in a book called The Creation and Its Causes. And it's so deep into, gosh, I mean, it's mind-blowing. I mean, read those and see what Baba told these boys. That's all.
Thank you فرشید.
بقیه‌اش هم بگو.
نه این
بعد یه
همین.
کتاب رو معرفی
یه کتاب معرفی کردن شما بفرمایید.
من کجا بودم؟
اوکی.
اوکی. بعد از آن که کار مهربابا با جوانان بعد از آن مهربابا به مسافرت
به ایران.
اونایی که در اشرام بودن رو با جوانان همه رو به مملکت‌های خودشون فرستادن.
بله.
و ایرانی ها هم به یزد برگشتن. بعد از آن ابیتار مهربابا به مسافرت هند به اروپا، آمریکا و ایران رفتن که در سفر دوم به ایران به یزد رفتن. در خانه عاشقان خودش در یزد ماندن. به خرمشاه منزل پدرش رفته و به جعفرآباد منزل آقای بیدول منزل سروش وصالی پدر اسفندیار رفتن. همه خوشحال بودند که او را زیارت کردند.
After Baba closed his school, so all the students, all the kids, they went back to their own homelands, to their own places. So all the 14 kids from Iran, they came back to Yazd. And later on, as you know, Baba started to travel. He traveled to Iran and also to Europe and America. And in the second trip of Baba visiting Yazd, he went to Khorramshahr at his father's house, which is still there in Khorramshahr, and stayed there. And he also went to Ja'farabad at Isfandiar Vesali's parents' house, as well as Aqa Beidul's house, and other places in Yazd as well. He got invited.
در آن زمان بود که عمو جان اسفندیار وصالی خواست که با مهربابا به هند برگردد. ولی مهربابا فرمودند تو باید ایران بمانی و از من اطاعت کنی تا وقتی که من برایت پیغام بدهم که بیایی هند. خود عمو جان همیشه تعریف میکردن.
It was at that time that Isfandiar it was his desire, heart desire to go back with Baba to India. So he went to Baba and begged Baba that please please allow me to come back with you. But Baba says, no, you have to obey me and you have to stay here. And this is what Isfandiar did. And Baba mentioned that do not come back to India until I call you, and then you can come.
خب اسفندیار وصالی برای این فرمان که مهربابا به او داده بود 27 سال به هند نرفت تا اینکه خود مهربابا به وسیله النبات از تماس گرفت که اسفندیار مهربابا می‌فرمایند که تو برای درشن او به هند بیایی.
It was because of Baba's order that Isfandiar for many years, for 3 decades, he couldn't go to India. And later on, just before 1963, Darshan eventually Baba called him through Aloba that it's time for you to come.
خب همه شماها داستان اون رو میدونید که چطور عمو اسفندیار بعد از 27 سال رفت به هند.
All of you know the story of Esfanyar. It's already on videos on YouTube that after so many years, how did he go back to India?
پس در اینجا میگم که خوب بدونید که بابا در اون موقع خدا بود در شکل در جسم انسانی و همه کارهای خودش رو خودش انجام میداد به وسیله چه اشخاصی به وسیله دوستداران خودش.
And you all know that Baba was God in human form, and he did all his work either himself or with the help of his lovers.
اما اصل موضوع که اتفاق افتاد که عشق مهر بابا در ایران پخش شد بعد از چند سال بود که مهر بابای عزیزمون درونن با استاد خدا رحم حیات بخش تماس داشتن همیشه فرمون داد که به ایران برود.
So after many years, a few years later, Baba internally guided Ustad Khoda Rahme Hayat Bakhsh, the saint in Bombay, to go back to Iran. And this is how the story goes.
او هم اطاعت کرد.
And he obeyed Baba's request to go back to Iran.
خود استاد خدارم هم مرشد بود و چند خانواده هم پیرو داشت. در حدود 20 خانواده پیرو داشت. هندی، مسلمون، مسیحی و زرتشتی. ولی باطناً میدونست که خدا و بابا خدا انسانه و او باید فرمان ببره. خب اطاعت کرد و
At that time, Ustad Khodaram, he was a master too, to some degree, to some point, and he has his own line of followers. About 26 families were actually following him in Bombay, and he had followers who were Hindus and Muslims and Zoroastrians, and some were local of Bombay, and some were Iranian, but living in Bombay. But he knew that he has to follow Baba's order and move back to Iran.
و پیروان اون پیروانی و مریدای استاد خدارم هم میدونستن که بابا خداست در جسم انسانی.
همشون که نمیدونستن.
چرا که همه میدونستن در هند بابا داره چه کار میکنه و چه اتفاقایی داره میفته، مخصوصا آقا بیدول که مرید واقعی حضرت بابا بودن.
خب
اینم بگو.
So even the Murids knew that who was Meher Baba, that Meher Baba was guiding their masters.
استاد خدارم به مریدان خودش میگه من باید ایران بروم چون خاکم در ایران هست. شما هر کدام که ایرانی هستید و میخواهید از فامیل خودتون دیدن کنید با من بیایید.
So Ustad Khodaram tells to his followers who were Iranians, and he says that my tomb is going to be in Iran. You know, that's my destiny, or I see that my tomb shrine is in Iran. So I'm going to go where my tomb shrine is back in Iran. And a few of you who are Iranian, so you have double passports of Iran and Indian, if you wish, you can just follow me and come with me back to Iran. Yeah.
5 خانواده 5 خانواده از پیروان او حاضر شدند به ایران بروند.
There were 5 families who were Iranian, and I think there was one of them was Muslims and 4 were Zoroastrian. Is that correct, Maman?
No Hindu, no Muslim.
Oh, no Hindu, no Muslim. So all of them Zoroastrian decided to follow him and come back from Bombay, travel all the way to Yazd.
اسم اونها اینا بود. آقایان نوشیروان ماهانی.
This is their names, or the family lead was Nushirvan Mahani and his family, Iran Mazda and his family, Bahman Kapoor and his family, Shah Feridun Vahidi, who was my grandfather, my mother's father, and a person named Khodayar. And all of them, what happened, they just decided to rent a big truck, and they all traveled from Bombay on the road. And my grandmother used to say it took us about 13 days to make it to Yazd. And my mother, my grandmother had 2 sons, and then she was pregnant 3 months with my mother. And every time that the truck would stop, my grandma used to stretch and lay down and just relax, otherwise it was very tight. That's what my mom always complains. I am short because all her brothers are like 6.1 and more, they are all tall. And then she's short because, my grandma has to be in the truck when she was pregnant. And she says, don't talk about this. Okay, Mom. Just a fun point.
هر کسیش رفتن به خونه های فامیلشون. مثلا آقایان ایران مزدا بهمن کیپور با خانوادهشون به جعفرآباد رفتن و 3 خانواده دیگر که یکیش پدر من بود توی از خونه زندگی داشتن، اونجا موندن. 1 ماه که گذشت، اسفندیار وصالی با شیرین دختر ایران مزدا ازدواج کرد.
Yeah, within the group that they has come, Iran Mazda had a daughter, and her name was Shirin Mazda. And Esfandiar Mesali, after a month that they were, they have arrived to Yazd, he married Shirin. So my mom wasn't still born, and we're talking about the timeline is about 1932. Around that time.
ازدواج کرد. بعد استاد خدارحم و ایران مزدا و نوشیروان ماهانی و خدایار به تهران رفتند.
And so they stayed for a while in Yazd, and then some of them stayed with the relatives, some already had homes, and then after a month or so, 2 or 3 families, they moved to Tehran, including Ustad Khodaram, because he was looking for a place for his tomb shrine. So they moved to Tehran.
استاد خدارحم به نوشیروان میگه به دلال بگو برای ما زمین بخره.
بگید
استاد
شما.
خدارم میگه که زمین بخرم در شمال تهران براش زمین پیدا کنن. بعد از چند ماه جستجو به شمال ایران به ده کاشانک رسیدن. حالا بود.
So, Ustad Khodaram had mentioned three of his followers just go to Tehran and seek for a land. Go and talk to a broker who finds lands to purchase, home to purchase, that I'm looking for a land to buy in northern part of Tehran.
خب به شمال به ده کاشانک رسیدن. بعد از چند ماه استاد گفت داریم خیلی نزدیک میشویم. وقتی به در اون باغ که ده بود رسید، گفت این باغ است. به دلال میگه. دلال گفت اینجا فروشی نیست چون مال خطیب الملک است.
So they went and they were looking, and then they find a door to a big garden. So Ustad Khodaram says, this is the place that I have to purchase. This is the place. But then the broker said, but this place is not for sale. It belongs to Khatib al-Mulk, which was a very powerful person in the regime of Qajar dynasty, and he basically it wasn't even for sale. But Ustad Khodaram insisted, just go ahead and knock on the door and see what happens.
تا ببینیم کی جواب میده. دلال با تردید در میزند. بعد از تکرار چند دفعه مردی در باز میکند. چه میخواهید؟ استاد خدا رحم میگوید.
So Ustad says that just knock on the door. So the broker just knocks on the door hesitantly, and then after a few minutes somebody comes and opens up the door and he's asked, what are you doing? What do you want?
استاد خدا رحم میگوید من درویشی هستم. از هند آمدم. میخواهم او را ببینم. دربان میگوید او مشغول کار است. به کسی اجازه نمیدهد. استاد میگوید تو برو بگو. جواب بیار.
So he says, I'm a darwish and I have come from India. So you go and you ask the owner, Khatibullah, that I'm here and I'm interested to purchase your house, and just come and bring the answer.
دربون میگه که باید 1 ساعت صبر کنید تا من بروم برگردم. استاد گفت صبر میکنیم.
So the guardman says that you have to wait at least 1 hour because I have to go and wait for him so his work is finished, and then I get the answer and then I come and open up the door. And Ustad says no problem, we will wait for 1 hour.
بعد از ساعتی دربان برگشت و گفت آقا میفرمایند بیا، ولی من وقت پذیرایی از کسی ندارم.
Then the guard comes and says after 1 hour that the sir, Khatibullah, is saying that come, but I don't have time to offer any food or drink to you.
استاد و همراه ها رفتن در باغ. بعد از راه طولانی خطیب الملک را دیدن.
Finally, Ustad and his companions went, and they went for a long walk and finally they saw the owner of that, Khatibullah.
چند تا کارگر داشتن زمین میکندن.
Just
بعد از سلام و معرفی استاد به خطیب الملک گفت با انرژی خاص درونی خودش. کمی صحبت کردن. بعد پرسید شما به چه منظور دارید زمین رو میکنید؟ خاک برداری میکنید؟
So when he got to the, Khatibullah, they noticed that there were a group of men digging the ground, and then Ustad asked them that, why are you digging this place? What's the reason for that? And Khatibullah says,
او جواب داد دارم این محل آرامگاه خانوادگی می سازم.
this is, I'm making it as a burial ground for my family.
استاد خداره با خنده می گوید این قبر منه.
Ustad Khodaram laughing at that, and he says, this is my tomb shrine that you are, digging the ground for. You have to give it to me. This is mine. You're doing it for me.
خطیب الملک جواب میدهد ولی این ملک من است.
Khatibullah says, but this is my property.
استاد میگوید ولی این قبر من است. آن را به من میفروشی؟
And Ustad said, but this is my place of burial. Would you sell it for me, to me? Would you sell it to me?
خطیب الملک جواب میدهد ولی این ملک
Yes.
او جواب میدهد ولی این ملک خیلی گران است. درویش تو نمیتونی بخری. استاد میگوید برای این قبر هر چه بگویی میدهم.
So Khatibullah says, Darwish, this property, this tomb that I'm making is very expensive. You cannot afford it. And Ustad says, for this tomb, this property, this burial site, I will give anything as you wish. Any amount you wish.
او جواب میدهد که قبر تنها فروشی نیست. این ده خیلی گران است. استاد سوال میکند مثلا چقدر است؟
بله بخون مادر جان.
فهمیدی؟
بله بخونید که من
مثلا چقدر است؟ او میگوید 15,000 تومان آن زمان. استاد دستش را دراز میکند میگوید خریدم. خطیب الملک
Khatib al-Mulk says that this is very expensive, and not only you just have to buy this, but it's going to be a huge property in here. You have to have enough money to buy the whole thing. And he says that how much it is. And Khatibullah says for the whole thing is $15,000. And Ustad raised his hand toward Khatibullah and says, I'm purchasing it. I bought it.
خطیب الملک هم با تعجب دستش میدهد و به استاد میگوید این ده بسیار خرج دارد. باید با 50 خانواده کشاورز و نگهداری اونها بخری.
So Khatibullah is saying that this village is very expensive, but meanwhile you have to provide for 50 family of the farmers who are in this location. You have to provide them work and money and water and payment and all that. So it comes with a whole load. It's a village. It's a whole
باز هم
village.
استاد میگوید به اونها هم خدمت میکنم.
Then Ostad tells that I will serve those 50 family too. I will serve them.
بعد با هم به تالار باغ میروند و قولنامه نوشته میشود.
So together they go to a big hall and with the realtor is there, they sign up the contract.
ده کاشانک خریده میشود.
And then therefore the village of Kashanak is being purchased in the name of
استاد خدا رحم حیات بخش و 5 پیروان او.
in the name of Ustad Khoda Rahme Hayat Bakhsh and 5 of his followers they purchased the whole village.
وقتی که ده خریده شد دیگه صاحبش استاد بود. فوری به ایران مزدا و نوشروان مهانی میگه برید به یزد و همه خانواده های خود را با اسفندیار وصالی و متشرین رو برای ماندن به اینجا بیایید.
So when they purchased the land, then Ustad is telling the followers go and get the rest of the group, the other who left behind in Yazd, and bring them all here, including the newlywed Espanyol Vesali and his wife Shirin. And my mom is also born in Yazd in September of 1932, and after that she moves with her family to Tehran.
بعد از 1 ماه همه در کاشانک بودن و اون زمان الان من 92 سالمه من 4 ماهه بودم. 4 ماه
وقتی که اومدی تهران 4 ماه بود.
4 ماه.
She was 4 months old when they moved to Tehran in that Kashanak village, big village.
92 years ago.
92 years ago.
تا استاد خدا رحم حیات بخشنده بود جمعه شبها خطیب الملک به تالار بزرگ ده می آمد. با استاد و پیروان او صحبت عرفانی می کردن.
When Ustad Khodaram was still alive, Khatibul Mulk, thank you. Khatibul Mulk used to come every Friday night, and then they would talk about Persian mysticism and spirituality with Ustad. So he became just listening, become one of his followers, just listening.
استاد خدارحم در کاشانک 3 سال و 4 چند ماه زندگی کرد. در این مدت در ده مسجد ساخت، حمام مردان و زنانه ساخت و در ده نیاوران مدرسه برای پسران و دختران ساخت.
So Ustad Khodaram stayed in that village until he passed away for 3 years and about 4 months. And during that time, he built a mosque for the Muslims there, because all of them were Muslims. This is like group of Zoroastrian going there, but the villagers were Muslim. So he built a mosque, and he also built the bath, first time public bath, one for men, one for women, in the village for the villagers. Plus he built a school both for boys and girls in the next section, next village, Niavaran, which my mother actually went and studied in that village, in that school.
وقتی استاد خدارحم بدنش رو رها کرد، او را در قبر خودش که آماده بود خاک سپردند.
When he dropped his body, they buried him in his tomb where he already predicted when he's going to be. And in his prediction, it was also next to the spring, a water which flows all the way. So it was passing a spring. اما قنات از کنارش میرفت. بله. Yeah, there was a well, but then there was also kind of a river, no?
حالا رفت خواب شد.
Okay.
همسر استاد خودارم خورشید مای، یادتون میاد خورشید مای رو کجا دیده بودید شنیدید که با مهربان رفتن و اینا؟
بله.
حالا همسر استاد خودارم خورشید مای تا سر سال اولش در ایران ماند.
بله. بگو. So, Ustad Khodaram has a wife, and his name was Khurshid Mai, and if you remember, he was also a friend with Dolat Mai, we haven't gone, and also relative to Meher Baba, Khurshid Mai. So, with Shirin Mai, Baba's mother, Khurshid Mai was a relative. So for 1 year after he's passed away, Khurshid Mai, who was originally from India and was living in India in Bombay, he stayed in she stayed in Kashanak at the village for 1 year.
بعد از آن به هند برگشت.
بله.
برای مراسم سال دوم به ایران برگشت.
بله.
با خواهر استاد خودارم پری دخت ملکوت این تو کاشونک اومدن.
So she went back to Bombay, and then the second year when she came to say the prayer for the anniversary of his passing, she also brought the sister of Ustad Khodaram, which was Paridokht Malakut, who happened to be my mother's grandmother.
این سه نفر خورشید مای، پریدخت و اسفندیار وصالی مدت 40 شبانه روز در کنار قبر استاد خودارم که اتاق ساخته شده بود مدیتیشن کردن.
So on the second year, اسفندیار وصالی پریدخت و خورشید مای for 40 days or 30 days. برای 30 روز یا 40 روز. For 40 days they said the prayers. They were saying, so continuously Zoroastrian prayers, repetition of 101 names of God.
و از استاد خودارم اجازه خواستن که روی قبرش رو باز کنند و آرامگاه بسازن.
همون موقع سال دوم
میخواستن باز کنن قبر رو ببینن، اول میت رو ببینن، بعدش روی قبرش آرامگاه بزرگ بسازن.
So when they did that 40 days of rituals and prayers, they asked Ustad Khodaram that we want to open up the grave, and then so with your permission we can build a shrine on the top.
وقتی که اجازه داده شد قبر رو باز کردن، دیدن استاد هنوز بدنش در کفن تغییری نکرده. بعد 1 سال.
So when they 2 سال این دفعه دومشون بوده. این بعد از 2 سال.
نه 1 سال که گذشت، سال بعدش که اومدن میخواستن مقبره بسازن.
یعنی 1 سال بعدش.
نه سال سومش با مادر میرا اومدن.
نه کی میخواستن که این اینو کفن رو در آوردن.
کفن رو در نیاوردن، قبر رو که باز کردن، قبر رو
بعد از 2 سال که استاد
بعد از 1 سال.
Okay, so after 1 year that he had passed away, they open up the grave And then they saw Ustad Khodaram, everything was the same, intact, even his cheek and everything. It seems like he was quite, even his cloth, wasn't rotten or anything. So everything was, he hasn't changed. It was just as original as he was buried. Fresh, the body was fresh. No.
بعداً مقبره ساخته شد که با عکس تمام قد استاد خدارم تا 30 سال در کاشانک وجود داشت.
So then they built with brick. I also remember it actually because I used to go, in early 70s or late 60s, late 60s. I used to go with my grandmother. It was made of brick on the top, and for 30, and then they had a photo of him inside too, and for 30 years they said every year they did a ceremony for his death. Zoroastrian believe that after 30 years then we shouldn't continue basically praying for the deceased. 30 years is the deadline. Yes. Almost done, Mama. چقدر دیگه مونده؟
سال سوم بود. سال سوم بود
میگه تمام شده.
سال سوم بود که خورشید مای و با دولت مای مادر مهرا ایرانی اومدن تهران.
On the third year, Khurshid Mai brought Daulat Mai, who was the mother of Mehera Irani. So they came to Tehran. My mom was probably about 6 years or so, and she remembered that Daulat Mai was not talking or speaking. She was always smiling, and she would ask my mom to come and sit on her lap. And that year they invited the whole community of Zoroastrian to come for the ceremony of the anniversary of the death of Ustad. And Mehera Irani's mom, Daulat Mai, was there too. So, and that was, again in Kashanak, Esfandiar Vesali was there, and
اینو دیگه هم بگم. در این 3 سال خطیب الملک همیشه 100 سال استاد خرادارم می اومدی.
And then all these years, Khatib al-Mulk, who was the previous owner, used to come to the celebration or the anniversary of the death of Ustad Khodaram.
حالا آخرشه.
Okay, this is the end. This is the end. Okay.
اصل مطلب اینجاست که وقتی 5 مرشد کامل مهربان رو کامل کردن، دیگر خدا انسان بود که با ذهن جهانی خودش همه روح‌های پیشرفته رو هدایت میکنه که انرژی اوتاری او رو در دنیا پخش کنن.
So let me the important point here is when 5 perfect master made Merwan perfect. Then after that it was God-man, it was Merwan that with his universal mind himself helped all those souls on a spiritual path, and so those can spread the universal or the energy of the avatar throughout the world, and this had happened through Ustad Khoda Rahm Hayat Bakhsh began, and then later on through Prema Ashram boys it spread. And the first Meher Baba meeting was held in Kashanak, in the same village, at the house of Svandyar Vesali, by order of Avatar Meher Baba. Jai Baba. There is a question.
Yes, you didn't they tear down the tomb though, and then
Yes.
What happened then?
Okay, well, it was after 30 years, and later on, everybody believed that the body has already gone. So there wasn't even body, but symbolically it got torn unexpectedly, but it wasn't between that 30 years. I think it was probably after 40 years or so they teared it up. And then the revolution happened in Iran, and Shah, had to run away, and other things happened. Yes?
What year was it that the person came to offer all the money for the property?
That was
negotiations?
1932. So that was right after Baba visited his last trip in 1931 in Yazd. So Baba actually spread the seed right there. And then all that things happened.
And the Khorshid you were referring to, was that big Khorshid?
No, it's another Khorshid.
Different Khorshid.
Yes, different Khorshid.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Avatar Meher Baba ki jai. Thank you.
Everybody's here. Everybody's here. There we go. Everybody. Hi. Marilyn.
This is our farewell song here.
Good night, everybody.
Meher, where are you? My heart is breaking for you, Meher. I need your wine, I'm so thirsty. But you're here right now,
And your silence thunders in my heart, man. And my tears quench the thirst. And my longing burns my heart for you, man.
wait to see you everywhere, man. Please don't let me die of thirst, man.
But you're here right now, and your silence thunders in my heart, man. And my tears quench the thirst, and my longing burns my heart for you, man. Man.
Hey, Baba.
Thank you.
As always, when we end the meeting, we say Meher Baba. Jai Baba.